Banshee. My name's Eugene, and thank you for subscribing. This is the place where I spotlight the mad scientists making a first-time brew, all the way up to the most popular, the most successful brewers that we all know and love. Today, I don't even have to leave very far from my house. We're going to Santa Clara Valley Brewing Company, talk to Steve, and guess what? I get to drink one of my all-time favorite beers, New Alma Ave Red. So what do you say? Let's go grab a beer. Banshee. I am here at Santa Clara Valley Brewery with Steve, the head brewmaster. Thanks for having me, Steve.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you,
Appreciate
thank you.
it.
So, give me a little backstory on how this happened, and if you were someplace else prior to this.
Sure. I've been brewing in the South Bay for 21 years, almost, all over the place, from Gilroy up to Sunnyvale, Los Gatos, and back. I was working for other people that it was time to move on, and a mutual friend of my now business partners introduced us because my partner Tom was looking to build a brewery here in San Jose, because at the time there weren't really that many. So we got hooked up together and kind of had a first meeting, and it went well. We had perhaps several beers, and
of course,
right, and just kind of kept the ball rolling, and decided that let's make a go of it. And we started out contract brewing out at Hermitage for about a year and a half, maybe 2 years, while we were trying to get this place up and build, raising money and all that fun stuff that goes along with building a brewery. We've been open here almost 2 years. Just making beer.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
And where could people find your beer other than coming to the brewery itself?
That's a good question. Our bottles are available in Whole Foods, Zanotto's, Lenardi's, Safeways, Bevmo, Costco, a whole host of small little local mom and pop liquor stores like Cask and Flask and Maplewood Liquors.
Right.
A whole lot of other places. And then draft, I know we're in both BJ's here in San Jose all the time. We're in a lot of rotating places. Original Gravity downtown. Paper Plane has us all the time. Just a whole bunch of different rotations. Smoke Eaters puts us on quite a bit, and rotating in their places. So we're out there. I know Burke's has our IPA on all the time as well in Santa Clara.
Let's go and get started on this fantastic array of beer that we're going to be tasting today.
Right on.
We got 4 beers for our tasting for our flight. And how much is a flight?
A flight of most of our beers is $7. We do a separate flight. I have 4 Imperial Stouts on that are basically the same beer. That one's $15. It includes our Nitro Imperial Stout, our normal base Imperial Stout, the bourbon barrel-aged version of the Imperial Stout, and the rye barrel-aged version of the Imperial Stout. So you can do just an Imperial Stout flight of all 4, and it's fun to see because it's all the same beer.
Right.
And just the Nitro and the CO2 versions are completely different, and then the bourbon and the rye versions are, it's the exact same beer. It's just 2 different barrel types that have made them such completely different beers.
Nice.
So it's kind of fun to be able to see how that progresses.
And these are 4-ounce pours. And $7 for a flight.
Correct.
And let's go ahead and jump in. Where do you want to start?
So we'll start with the Electric Tower IPA. This is our flagship IPA. Cheers. It's a West Coast IPA. It's hoppy. It's got a lot of the tropical fruit, piney, citrusy flavors. I think mine has a little bit more of a malt backbone for balance, so it's not as huge of a hop bomb, I guess, as a lot of West Coast IPAs. I kind of like a little some balance in my beer, so it's not just hops that you're drinking. There's a little bit more to it.
I do taste a bigger hop in there, but still really balanced. I mean, it doesn't have a huge back end on it, you know.
Right. It's pretty drinkable IPA for 7.1%. So
7.1.
yeah.
Wow. That's delicious.
Yeah. Thank you.
And which beer was this?
This is our Electric Tower IPA.
Electric Tower.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Oh, excuse me.
Yep.
And so next we have our New Alma Den Red. It's an Imperial Red Ale. So it's 10% alcohol. Mm-hmm. It's a big one. A lot of malt flavors because, you know, with that much malt, it's hard to overcome a lot of that. So it's going to be a little on the sweeter side, some coffee-like flavors, caramelly.
Mm-hmm. The color's fantastic.
Thank you.
I mean,
but I also hop it very liberally. So it's got a lot of hobby characters, a lot of pine and kind of citrusy, danky, not really tropical, but more of a just straight up old school hop.
It doesn't have much of a nose to it, though. You know?
Yeah, it's kind of weird because I dry hop the hell out of this.
Oh, wow.
But again, for 10%, it doesn't really come across like it.
Yeah.
So.
That could be a little bit dangerous. I mean, it doesn't taste like a 10%. You know, most, I mean, I'm not going to say most, but a lot of 10%, you know, especially like a red like this,
right.
It's pretty
it can be pretty
pungent.
Hot. Yeah,
you know?
It can be pretty hot alcohol-wise, but it's frighteningly not.
It's smooth.
Yeah.
That's very dangerous.
Yeah.
That's so good, though.
Thank you. Yeah, it's one of our bottled beers as well. So it's winter time, so it's a little colder. It's a little easier to drink a 10% alcohol beer. You might not want something like that in the middle of summertime, but so
it's not overwhelming though. I mean,
right.
you know, this easily could be, you know, a summertime beer because it's not so bold.
Right, right.
Awesome.
Thank you.
All right, what's next?
And so next we have our Peralta Porter. It's kind of hard to find a lot of porters on the market these days. You know, they're either seasonal, which ours kind of is, but yeah, it's just my take on a porter. It's going to be a little dark chocolatey, kind of a little bit of coffee flavors going on in it, just from the roasted, from the black malt that I use and the chocolate malt that I use. No actual coffee or chocolate used in this brewing of this, but a little slightly hoppy as well. So it's just a good cold weather, you know, roasty, chocolatey beer.
Yeah, the coffee definitely comes through.
Yeah.
The chocolate's it's pretty light.
Right.
I think
it's kind of there on the finish.
Yeah.
So, and once you swallow it, it kind of lingers on the palate a little bit. It's like a dark chocolate.
Dark chocolate, yeah. That's exactly what I was about to say.
Yeah, a little on the bitter side.
Definitely after it gets down your throat, you're like, oh,
right.
Okay,
yeah,
there it is.
Yeah. But you're right. I mean, it's a little more coffee-like up front for sure.
Yeah. That's what I like about, you know, some of the darker beers, especially like a porter, is you get multiple levels of taste as it goes, you know, passes over your tongue, goes down your throat. You're like, oh, okay. Oh, there's another taste that I wasn't expecting.
Yeah, layers are nice. Complexity is nice. You know, it's kind of one of those beers where you can kind of either just drink it and not even think about it, or go, or like you said, just kind of analyze it a little bit and go, oh, it's, you know, I'm getting this and this and this.
Yeah, I'm
as
sure.
It changes, as it warms up.
Yeah,
changes, flavors change.
As your palate gets used to it a little bit, you're probably going to be picking up on other stuff as well.
For sure. Yeah. So this is you know, dark beers are a weird thing. You know, people are afraid of them oftentimes. You see a dark beer, like, oh, I'm not going to like that. I hate that beer. I hate dark beers. And then, you know, if someone comes in here and says that, and I happen to be back here, I'm going to say, well, you know, let me give you a taste of it.
Right.
You know, it's on me. Let me here, you know, have a little sample of it. And I've had it time and again where someone just kind of changes their whole concept of dark beers, and they end up ordering a couple pints of it. So just give it a chance. That's all I ask.
I 100% agree with that statement. And to tell you the truth, I mean, you know, if you're afraid of a darker beer, that's kind of going to ruin. You're almost never going to order a single dark beer
Right.
if
Right.
if you're at a bar. If you've had like, you know, I don't know, a bad experience, I guess, you know,
Right.
with something that maybe was on the shelf too long,
Sure.
or
Sure.
you know, it doesn't taste right, doesn't
Right.
taste fresh.
Right.
And so that's actually the great part about having a flight, is that you get to kind of,
Sure.
you know, maybe dip into something that you wouldn't normally
Absolutely, yeah.
drink.
Expand your horizons a little bit.
expand
And
your
if you don't
horizons.
like it, hey, that's great. You know,
Yeah.
thanks for trying it. That's all
Yeah,
we ask.
for
You know,
sure.
that's why we're here.
For sure.
But hopefully, oftentimes, it does change your mind and open your, you know, change your expectations and open your mind a little bit about
Yeah.
things. So, I mean, this is probably, I mean, IPA, I think, has so much more going on in it than a porter does. I mean, I think if you try this, you know, you're going to be a lot more willing to drink this if you don't like a hoppy beer.
Yeah.
You know, and like you said, with the coffee and the chocolate flavors coming out, it's a lot more drinkable than most people think it is.
Yeah, actually, after, was that my third gulp, it was actually a lot more milder for
Right.
for the chocolate on the back end. I started to kind of feel it going, you know, halfway through now.
Right, right. Oh, excuse me.
That's beer,
Drinking
right?
beer, right?
You go to burp, you go to belch. It's a, you know,
It's part of the gig.
it's part of the gig, exactly. All right, and so for our last one
So for our last beer today,
today,
this is right.
for now,
For now, you know, it is early, which is you never, you know where the day's going to take you.
it's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Not that that matters.
Not that that matters.
So this is our Loma Prieta Imperial Stout. This particular one was aged in rye whiskey barrels for almost 10 months.
Okay.
So the beer is still there. You definitely get a lot of the barrel influence from both the oak, the char in the oak, and the whiskey itself. So this I get just tons of chocolate out of, but it's got that nice rye whiskey kind of spiciness
Yeah.
to it. It's 11.5% alcohol.
Woo.
It's a big beer. It's again pretty smooth though when you're drinking it.
Another dangerous
it is
beer.
a very dangerous beer. We didn't have a whole lot of this. I only had 10 barrels of each. Our bourbon version as well. So it's pretty limited. It'll happen again next year. It'll be hopefully an annual thing that we put this out.
To be completely honest with you, I normally like my beer and my whiskey separate,
Right?
but I'm always game for anything.
Sure.
You know, and
Yeah.
I've tasted multiple, you know, ales that have been barrel aged. Some are like really, really good, and some just didn't vibe with me.
Sure.
But you know, again, that's the benefit of having a flight, because you
Right.
could taste a bunch of different stuff that you're
Right.
like, oh, I actually like this one. The other place that I wanted,
Right.
that I tasted barrel aged, I didn't like it, but this one I like. And so now you find something different, which is awesome.
Right.
You know,
Right.
so here's to you,
Yeah,
and here's
cheers.
to
Yeah.
Santa Clara Valley Brewing Company.
Cheers.
I kind of smelt as I drank at the same time. Not recommended. Oh my God, that's really good.
Thank you. Yeah.
Holy
you get
mackerel.
a lot of chocolate, dark chocolate, but
Yeah.
that vanilla is there. And the whiskey's not overpowering. The beer is still there. You can get some whiskey flavors, but it's still kind of in the background. You get that spicy rye whiskey flavor,
you could
but
smell
the beer
whiskey.
is there.
You could smell the barrel
Yeah.
in here.
Yeah, but the beer is there, and that's
But
what I'm
the
looking
beer
for.
is definitely there.
Just it can be, and if you do leave it in too long, the beer is gone. It's just oak, whiskey, which is all fine and dandy, especially if I'm drinking whiskey, which I love whiskey.
Yeah.
But I want the beer. I mean, it's still a beer, so I want the beer to be there, and I
Yeah.
want the other flavors to be complementary, not overpowering.
Wow, this is like, in the scheme of our beers, this is like my dessert for sure.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
This is so tasty.
this
and
is a good-
so like,
This is a good beer to end the night on.
yeah. Wow.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I haven't had one of these in a while. Yeah, I'm kind of digging this
What
right
a
now.
taste. What a taste. Highly recommend. If you're coming in here, you're in the Bay Area, you got to stop by Santa Clara Valley Brewing. This is a fantastic beer.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm
Oh, man.
pretty happy with the way these
Delicious.
turned out. Yeah, I'm looking forward to doing more barrel aging.
You mentioned the San Jose Giants. If any of you Brew Banshees are going to the San Jose Giants game, this brewery is really, really close.
10-minute walk.
10-minute walk, 20-minute crawl, but you have to come over here. It's super close and super convenient. Thank you so much, Steve. I really appreciate you letting me in here and
anytime
tasting your beers.
Always welcome.
Let's get one more cheers.
Absolutely.
Here's to you.
Cheers to you.
Here's to Brew Banshee.
Cheers.
Take it easy.
Yeah.
Cheers,
thank you
brother.
So much.
Delicious. Make sure if you're in the San Jose area, you stop by Santa Clara Valley Brewing Company. Their brewery is awesome and they have some fantastic beers. It is the home of the Electric Tower IPA. Super well balanced and very drinkable. Santa Clara Valley Brewing Company location information can be found in the description below. Also, if you have a brewery that you want Brew Banshee to spotlight, let me know. I'm always looking for another place to grab a beer. And as always, keep your toes in the sand and a brew in the hand. Be good.